Connecting with a vision is about changing what you believe is physically possible for you in this world. It is such an important skill when you want to live a good life, grow a business, show up and work through all of your trauma. It's something that you have to be really open to the fact that you have to change what you believe is possible in order for your life to change. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So when I look at business and I look at working with my clients, we have a very clear structure of what we do. We don't just focus on business strategy, we break it down into business strategy and then also nervous system regulation. And this idea, I call them soul codes, there's 8 soul codes, of really tapping into who you are as a person in the existence of the world, like the messy middle bit that you have to go through, because it's not as simple as just being the end version that you want to be. There's so much that goes into becoming the person who can run the business. And one thing that we have to remember is that if you have a vision for your life, if you have a desire, a goal, something that you want to achieve, if it is on your heart, it is absolutely meant for you. Yeah, if it is on your heart, it is absolutely something that you are able to do. And you just need to now believe that it is possible. Like, that is the shift that needs to happen. So when we're talking about creating a vision, it's not like, oh, I want to write down 5 things that I want to achieve. Like, it's not a goals list. It's about, like, how do you actually want to feel? How do you want to move through the world? How do you want the world to move around you? And what does that look like when you actually start to visualize, when you actually start to go into like the nitty-gritty details of how you want your life to look? And this is something that is so incredible. Now, if you haven't yet, last week, the last video on the channel was a guided meditation. It is the most stunning visualization, walk through to go meet your future self. Go and watch that or listen to that and do the meditation if you haven't yet, because it is so worth the journey. But this week, I just want you to like really dive into this idea of your current thoughts create your current reality, and your current thoughts create your future reality. So if you're thinking, oh, that's never going to be possible for me, it's possible for other people, they have those results and I can't, you're never going to get the result that you want, okay? If you're sitting there thinking, oh wow, look at what is possible, if they can do it, I can do it too, suddenly that shifts the dynamic of what you think is possible for yourself. And I want you to think about all of your current thoughts, your current beliefs, the current like reoccurring things that are going around your mind, the things that you're saying out loud to yourself and other people. And I want you to think about how can you shift those beliefs so that they become something that is actually empowering to you. Okay, because if you're not empowering yourself with your beliefs, then you're disempowering yourself, and that is absolutely not what we want. Your vision should tap straight into a belief system that is just opening up possibilities for you. So if you think about, and we'll just use some general examples to kind of start this off, get you kind of thinking along the right lines. So say for instance you want to lose weight. Yeah, this is a really common thing around this time of year. New you, like new year, new you, all of this nonsense. So when you start to think about this idea of losing weight, a lot of the time it's driven from a really bad place. Yeah, we're trying to drive the change, we're trying to drive the desire, drive the new goal from a place of guilt, from a place of like upset with ourselves. And actually, change never ever works when it's driven from a negative place. So we have to tap into possibility rather than tap into guilt. We have to tap into the positive side of things rather than tap into, like, why can't this be possible for me? Everyone else has this, you know, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, you know, I'm never going to be able to lose weight, I'm never going to be able to manage my diet, I'm never going to be able to run that 5K, I'm never going to be able to do what other people do. You're never going to do it because that's the story that you're telling yourself time and time again. Whereas actually, if you can write yourself a vision and you can say, you know, I'm so excited, I've just finished my first 5K run and I managed to run the whole thing. I have been eating healthy meals 3 times a day and not starving myself or depriving myself of things that I want. I've been making conscious choices to really push forward in my health and make it a priority for me. I know that a healthy body leads to a healthy mind, leads to a good life. Like, how much more empowering does that second set of beliefs feel versus the first set of beliefs that I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, you know, I need to lose weight because nobody's gonna love me, or because I'm, you know, so hideous that nobody will want to be friends with me or go out with me or, you know, buy from me. I've had clients say that to me before, like, I need to look better to show up on Instagram. And you don't. Like, you don't. You just need to believe a better story. You just need to love yourself regardless and just stop being a dick to yourself. Because when you're creating a vision, if you're creating it from a place of lack, if you're creating it from a place of guilt, it's never ever going to be pretty. It's never going to be something that is actually vibrationally good. Now, this is something that's really, really key. If you don't understand the kind of law of attraction and this idea of vibrations, it's really, really simple. Everything in the world has a vibrational energy, okay? And some things can change their vibrational energy, like us. We can be high vibe or low vibe, and some things are not able to change their vibrations. So some things have high vibrations, some things have low vibrations, and that's just the way that it is. Now, if you take things like food, for an instance, if we stay on this health kick that we've gotten ourselves onto, if you look at foods that are really high vibration and really help your body create high vibrations, which help you create a better life, are things that are really good for you. So avos, nuts, you know, legumes, all of the kind of really like fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. And then you come down in that vibrational scale and a study was shown that actually things like processed bread, processed food, ready meals, takeaways, like all of those sorts of things, like fast food, not necessarily, you know, if you go to a restaurant and sit down and it's like well-cooked food, but like fast food, they have got absolutely no vibrational energy. Like little to none vibrational energy. So actually when we're putting that stuff in our body, we are lowering our vibrational energy with the stuff that we're putting into our body. Okay, now this is exactly the same as our thoughts. If we're thinking negative thoughts all of the time, if we're thinking, you know, we have to change because of guilt or because, you know, people won't care for us, love us, buy from us, want to see us succeed, like whatever the story is you're telling yourself, we are constantly going to be bringing down our vibration. And when we do that, we can only match with bad vibrations. So if you think about magnets, if you think about sound waves, like a sound wave, if you use like a tuning fork, it can only make the right sound if the vibration matches. The vibration has to be the same in order for the sound to be right. And our lives are exactly the same. In order for our vision to come into our reality, the sound waves, the vibrational waves that we create have to be correct. So if you are trying to pull in a really high vibe life, so you're trying to pull in a life that is, you know, absolutely spectacular for you. You want to be debt free, you want to be making a consistent income, you want to be showing up on social media and being a leader in your market, you want to become an author, you want to stand on stage and do talks, you know, whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe you want to buy, you know, a homestead and start a homestead and live completely eco-friendly and sustainably. Like, whatever it is you want to do, they're all high vibe. They're all about helping other people, they're all about being of service, they're all really good things that you want to do in the world. And actually, you can only attract those things if you up your vibrational energy. If you eat well, if you sleep well, if you drink loads of water over caffeinated drinks, alcohol, you know, things that are high sugar. All of those things will lower your vibrational energy, and if you're lowering your vibrational energy, it becomes harder and harder to match with the vision that you're creating for yourself. So I want you to really think about, how are you lowering your vibration and how are you increasing your vibration every day? Are you having, you know, 2-minute dance breaks in the middle of the day to up your vibration when you're feeling a bit sluggish? Are you prioritizing your sleep and making sure that you rest and you're really well recovered? Are you having cuddles with your fur pets, your little babies? I've got them next to me here. Or your kids, or your family, or your friends. Like, are you plugging into people who make you feel high vibe? Because that is what makes the difference in what we believe is possible. You will have all heard this idea that you are the combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you're spending all of your time with people who are really low vibe, who are always gossiping about others, who are sitting thinking about, hey sweetheart, who is, you know, sitting talking about others and, you know, talking about all of the problems that they have and just focusing on the negatives, you will always be attracted to that world and you'll always attract that world to you. Whereas actually, if you're moving and you're saying, you know, I fully recognize that these people right now are not for me, and, you know, maybe not cut them out of your life, but just limit the amount of time you spend with them, and you start increasing the time that you spend with a really kind of powerful group of women who are making big moves and earning big money and changing the world, suddenly the conversations that you're having are different. The possibilities, the opportunities, everything becomes different. Because you are shifting your vibrational energy and you are saying, this is what I expect in my life. This is how I expect my life to go. And that is so powerful. So I want you to think about, like, how is this working for you? Hello, sweetheart. How is this working for you? Are you running at a high vibration? Are you showing up at a high vibration regularly? And actually, does your vision match the vibrational energy that you are putting out into the world? Because if it doesn't, and you're asking for a vision that's high vibe, but you are doing everything to stay in a low vibe energy, your vision's going to really struggle to come to light. You're going to really struggle to make those things become your reality. And I absolutely don't want that for you. So I want you to take a moment, grab a piece of paper, and ask yourself, how do you feel at the moment? Do you feel like things are positive, going well, you know, in that kind of high vibe energy? Or do you feel low vibe? And whichever one you feel is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with feeling low vibe. There's nothing wrong with feeling high vibe all of the time. But you have to be able to be honest with how you feel. You can't just skirt over and say, like, oh, of course I feel high vibe, like it's fine, when actually there's stuff going on internally. Like, your internal system doesn't lie. outside you can tell people like, oh, I'm fine, when actually you're not, but internally your vibration doesn't lie. And the more that you're saying you're fine when you're not, the more unaligned you're going to be becoming. So a high vibe doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be like a bunch of rainbows all of the time, but it has to be aligned. You have to, you can have a day where you feel all of your feelings, where you are completely in yourself, and you can still attract at a high vibe because you're being aligned and truthful. And that is really, really key. And when it comes to your vision, like, start asking yourself, what do you want to create? What do you want to have in the world? What do you want to be in the world? Or who do you want to be in the world? How do you want to impact the world? How do you want to make change? And as I said, like, if you're a little bit lost on what that future looks like, go and listen to the meditation from last week. I'll link it in the comments below. It's incredible. And we are going to be bringing one meditation every single month to the channel going forward, because that one was an absolute hit. So we'll be sharing way more meditations over the coming months as well. I'm going to put a sort of a group of questions in the chat for you, in the comments, so that you can really kind of dive into what your vision is, what you want it to look like, and how you are vibrating at the moment. Because I really want you to have success. I really want 2024 to be the year that just completely blows your socks off. That every single thing that you desire comes true. But that has to start with you. It has to start with you getting in alignment. It has to start with you going through the process, doing the healing, and stepping up and saying, this is what I want. And being so clear in your conviction of what you want. And wanting it for such good, pure reasons that don't stem from guilt or, a need to change for other people. So I'm gonna ask you to dive in. Yeah, write down the questions, spend some time answering them. If you want to, you can tell me what your favorite question is in the chat, because I love hearing what is resonating with you guys. And of course, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help and make a difference in sharing content with more people in the world. So I'm gonna love and leave you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys next week.